Hey guys and gals, GregaMortis here, back with a movie review. Not one that I've seen in the theater, but one that I've seen via Shudder, as you can see behind me, hopefully. This was released this year on January 9th on Shudder. If you have the Shudder app, you can check it out there. If not, you can subscribe, get I believe it's a 3-month trial or a month trial, something like that. You can get a free trial. I recommend going ahead and subscribing. It's cheap. They got great movies. But anyways, the movie is The Marshes. When I looked it up on IMDb, it has a 2018 release, but it was just released in 2020 on Shudder. It's a Shudder original. So basic premise is Dr. Priya, Anna, Will, and Ben are 3 biologists. They're played by Daphne Cronenel, Sam Delick, and also Matthew Cooper. They're biologists, and they're on research trying to save the labyrinthine marshlands in Australia. It's this marshland that's going extinct, I guess you would say, or diminishing, and they're trying to figure out how to save it at any cost, and they're like, doing all these water samples, stuff like that. So it's one of these movies where they're doing that, and then they're met by this creepy redneck dude at a gas station at the beginning of the movie, who at first is making small talk with Dr. Priya, and it later he becomes a jerk off to her, and that plays off in the movie. All right, so most of the beginning to middle of this movie, it took a pretty good while for anything to start happening. It's just basically them, doing these research things. But once the action, there was some gore scenes in it. I'll say some of the gore scenes were pretty good in this. There is a killer in this movie. On IMDb, they're calling him the Swag Man. It was played by Eddie Baru, and a big menacing looking dude, which was kind of creepy. Elements of a whistle that when you heard that, you knew something was going on. But this movie was kind of trippy because sometimes things were happening that you didn't know if it was reality, and I'm basing this like reality versus dream state versus fantasy maybe. Because there's some things going on that you think are one thing, and then all of a sudden it becomes something else. And, you think that something's happening, and then the individual will wake up, and you're like, well, what the heck just happened? So it is a confusing movie. I felt confused in it. Maybe it's just me, but I did feel confused in it. But there again, there is some pretty good gore scenes in this with some body rips and tears and slits with knives and whatnot. There's some hunting going on in this movie that was tense in moments, and it basically, the marshes where they're getting, the individuals end up getting lost, and they're trying to get out of the marshes while this individual's hunting them down, and it's almost like a cornfield maze, I guess you would say, and it's like they can't get out, and they're trapped, and then when they think they're out, he brings them back in. So overall, the movie is okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good. There again, the gore scenes when they happened were good. I felt a little confused in this movie. Didn't know what it was actually expecting. It is 85 minutes long. Wish the action would have been a little bit more at the beginning as well. But Roger Scott is the director of this movie and writer, and I thought he'd done a decent job. He done some cool effects in here and done some things to keep the pace going. I thought the editing was decent. Just overall, I was expecting a little bit more, but I did like the sets on this because of the outback, and you're seeing Australia. I love that. Anytime I can see a foreign country and then you're seeing Australia, and I do want to say, prayers and thoughts out to all the Australians that are battling these fires and those that have been lost and the animals and whatnot. We do hope and pray for speedy recovery there and whatnot. But overall, I just thought the movie was okay. It is available via Shudder, so if you do have your Shudder account, it's a Saturday, Sunday show, why not just give it a watch. But overall, just okay. I'd give it about a 5.56 on the Richter scale, I would say, out of 10. So for that, this is my quick mini review. You can follow me at landofthecreeps.blogspot.com, which is our podcast, Land of the Creeps Horror Podcast. We'd love for you to come over if you haven't checked this out. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up down below. Comment, let us know if you've seen it, what you've thought about it, or if there's any other suggestions of movies you'd like for us to review in the future, you can do that as well. I'd also love if you would share this video with everyone that you know. So for that, I am GregaMortis. Check us out on landthecreeps.blogspot.com, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace. Help keep horror alive. One movie at a time, one review at a time.